We are going live for our weekly Tuesday show. It's called the SwitchGrocery Tasting Show. Cheers. It is International Women's Day, which means I have my CEO cup, which means nothing, which says nothing bad happens when women make more money. And sometimes I see my partner also go live, not go live, but drink from this cup. And I get really excited when I see him because I'm like, yeah, nothing happens when women make more money. Mm. I want to welcome everybody on Instagram. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook in our Facebook group Switchers. We're live on our Facebook page, Switch Grocery. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitter, which is really fun. Today, we're not live on LinkedIn. This is a little bit of a personal conversation. And so we're not going to go live on LinkedIn because I'm going to actually be talking about pre-diabetes and gestational diabetes and my experience with that. Hello, Cindy. So Cindy just joined. She is a longtime friend, and I hope you're doing well, Cindy. Hope you're doing okay. It's been a heck of a 2 years, that's for sure. So, two things before we start. I want to wish everybody a happy Women's Day and to literally every person, because everybody has a woman, has come from a woman. And I know that today's a really special day for everyone in terms of just recognizing the accomplishments of women, how far we have come, how so many women and men and humans have paved the way for us, including me. I am so grateful and blessed. I have literally the best customers, the best vendors, the best support for Switch Grocery, and it makes me feel supported and loved all the time. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for being part of this company of the whole journey to not a small business, as I talk about all the time. The second thing I wanted to mention is that um, when I was putting a tweet out today for International Women's Day, all I could think about are the women who are fighting in Ukraine, the women who are escaping, trying to escape, making that dangerous journey, the women who are separated from their families, the young girls, and the elderly. And my heart is with them. And ultimately, I just wanted to wish them, not that anybody from Ukraine is watching, but wish them from my heart happy International Women's Day. And obviously, we are thinking of them so much from our hearts. So today, this show is I go live every week, and we usually do a cooking show. And today we're going to do an Ask Me Anything. So you can ask me anything in the chat. I hope our chat is working on Facebook. I'm trying to test it out, but I have a little bit of a lag. I'm not sure what is going on here. But I will remove the chat overlay off for now. And by far, the biggest question we always get on Switch, the most engagement that I get when I talk about is diabetes. And now I know that this is a specific topic. Not everybody who shops at Switch has diabetes, has experience with diabetes, had gestational diabetes like me, which is diabetes in pregnancy, or has a risk for diabetes. But it is such an important topic, and so I hope that you understand that I will talk about it today, because I think that it just needs to be talked about. There's so much information and misinformation about, I wouldn't say misinformation, but just about what you do when you have diabetes and what are some of the things that you can do to manage your diabetes. So that is what I'm going to talk about today. I'll keep it short, and I'll try to keep it exciting. I don't know how you keep a topic like diabetes exciting, but I will do my best. So my history is that I had gestational diabetes in pregnancy. That is a very, very specific topic. So if you have any questions, you can always DM me. I can talk to you about my experience with gestational diabetes. There are two things that I want to focus on with gestational diabetes. It happens when there's a lot of pressure on the pancreas, as it was explained to me, a lot of pressure on the pancreas during pregnancy, and it is not able to function properly, function optimally, because having a baby puts a lot of pressure on your body. And I love the way that that was explained to me by someone in the medical profession, because it just takes the blame out of it. Sometimes you can be genetically predisposed to diabetes, but really, I have seen it happen to so many women. And I think the first thing is just the emotional thing of not blaming yourself and finding the best way personally to deal with that. So for me, I dealt with it by going mentally. I think I put a lot of pressure on myself, and in retrospect, I probably would have tried not to. But I did end up on a lower carb diet lifestyle to manage my pre-diabetes, and that by with doing that for me personally, I did not have to take insulin. But again, this is very personal. I would have taken insulin, like do what I would have done whatever I needed to do to protect baby. This was 2.5 years ago. And now I actually have pre-diabetes, which came up really probably during the pandemic for me. Um, I ended up having, I ended up, my A1c, which is the average of your blood sugar and your bloodstream for the last 3 months, is in the pre-diabetes range. Generally, you can try to manage that before it goes to full-blown diabetes, and that is what I am trying to do. So here are my like five things, I would say, five things that can help, which I would highly recommend following. I believe it's blood sugar. Blood sugar. I'll post her link after, but oh, she just changed. It's Andrea, and she runs an amazing blood sugar count, where she talks a lot about normal. Oh, yes, it's called Normal Blood Sugar. So you can find her on Instagram, you can find her on Facebook. She does tips all the time about managing your blood sugar. But with diabetes, or with anyone who's prone to diabetes, the biggest thing, which is so hard to manage, is actually stress. Oh, I'm talking about stress. Yes, I'm talking about stress in the middle of what is probably the most stressful 2 to 3 years for us. But that is what I learned from taking Normal Blood Sugar, Andrea's course. I did it for about 3 months. And I tracked my blood sugar. So this is a course that I did, which I tracked my blood sugars. And that is where I've had these takeaways. So they're very recent takeaways. Biggest thing was I found that when I was stressed, I'm sorry, you guys, when I was stressed, my blood sugars were higher. So what does that mean? That means that when you don't sleep, and for me personally, when I didn't sleep or when I was super stressed, in the morning, my fasting blood sugars were higher. And that really sucks because it's hard to manage stress. You can try to eat healthier and you can try to work out, but what I learned was you can do all of those things, but if you don't manage your stress, at least for me, personally, if I don't manage my stress, well, all that means is that my blood sugar is still going to rise. And the way that it was explained to me was like, actually, you can cause diabetes. You can literally like put an enormous amount of stress on someone, and they do this in prison. They just like don't let people sleep, wake them up every hour, which kind of is like having a baby as well. And you can almost like induce diabetes, which is insane to me. Dr. Jason Fung also talks about this. Welcome. I'm so sorry on Facebook. I cannot see your comments. I hope I will come and address all of them after. I'm actually going to log on to Facebook just to make sure that you can see me, hear me, and all of those things. I am checking right now. Let me see. Yes, I am live. I can see that. Perfect. And I see 2 comments. Perfect. Hi, Karen, and hi, Joanne. Um, nice to see you guys. Nice to see you guys. So yes, let's talk. Let's go back to. So first thing is really getting on top of stress and getting on top of sleeping. And I think this is for anybody who's looking to improve their health. We always start with like diet or exercise or something like that. Welcome to those who are coming on Instagram. Today's an Ask Me Anything segment. I'm talking about pre-diabetes. Um, Definitely, like if I could tell you one thing, which is the biggest factor that caused my A1C to not be to be in pre-diabetes range was stress, especially during the pandemic. I was also a new mom, was postpartum, and I think the pandemic has caused an enormous amount of stress on um, anybody at all, if for any reason. So stress is hard because that means that's like a combination of therapy, journaling, exercising, meditating, like I have a list, not looking at your phone at night, which is literally impossible when there's so much going on in the world. Please tell me all your tips on how to not look at my phone right before I go to bed. Like that is what I find to be by far the hardest. But I'm working on it and I'm trying really hard to work on that. The second thing is sleep, which kind of goes along with, I think most people, a lot of people don't actually end up sleeping that well. I'm sorry if you're one of those people, but it is good to work on that. Like some of the things that were recommended to me were magnesiums, also just making sure that like electronics are off, which is not a good thing right now. We're all live watching at 9:41 p.m. Eastern, but electronics off and things like that. So I think stress and sleep are actually number one. And I will say one thing, which is the diabetes program I did not focus on weight at all. Of course, like weight gain, weight loss can be a factor, but there's many other factors when it comes to diabetes, like stress, like your genetic predisposition, like sleep, um, so like it's and like other environmental factors, right? So I do want to say that it's not. I liked Andrea's course because it was focused very much on not weight. So she didn't even measure her weight. I have what she measured. So she made us measure our um, waist. So like our waist circumference. She made us rate our sleep. She made us rate our body aches, joint pain and aches. She made us measure blood sugar in the morning and after specific meals. Um, and it's funny, just looking at some of these blood sugars that I had, like I hit a 10 and 11 once, which was just stress. And my morning blood sugars were in the sevens usually, but I did get them down to a six in the sixes while I was, when I was like able to work on my stress and sleep. The next factor is food. Um, in general, like the way that Andrea explained it to us was that carbohydrates do have an impact on your body by increasing your blood sugar, which sucks. So, but, and this is where I think it's so important to talk about the nuances. So, a lot of people say, oh, okay, I do a keto diet to manage my diabetes. Keto is a low carb, highly low carb diet. Um, and that's not something that for me personally is working to the fullest extent. So I do sort of a flexible low carb lifestyle, and so I really liked some of Andrea's suggestions. Going for a walk after lunch or dinner will reduce your blood glucose. Having a glass of of water mixed with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar will help blunt the impact on your blood sugar. Not eating at night. So I usually try to have a decaf coffee, will help you manage your blood sugar. Not eating naked fruit. So I love fruit, which I just like love fruit. Never eating naked fruit. So like just picture a naked, just a little strawberry. Don't eat it. Mix it with cream. Mix it with yogurt. Um, it's more delicious anyway, but the fat or protein helps blunt the impact on your blood sugar. those were some of my most important takeaways. I love those takeaways. And again, this is really not even just for someone with diabetes, it's in general what um, you would recommend to just stabilize your blood sugar, which I just love. I think like I honestly think that's such practical recommendations. I think sometimes people, might say, just don't eat any carbs, but like that's not realistic for everybody. I definitely, for me personally, like if I eat a pita, like my blood sugar will spike, but that's because I have prediabetes. And so for me, I try to manage that to either reduce it, not maybe 100% eliminate it, but I significantly reduce my carbs and I'll get them more from fruit, or I'll try a bunch of low carb options. I'm very lucky to be the owner of a store and shop that has low carb options, so I maximize as much as I can. So those are some of my other tips. Also, walking a lot. Definitely walking. Like if I even have a higher blood sugar number, I will just go out for a walk, whether that's at night, or that's after lunch. It helps a lot. So these are just some other tips rather than just like always looking at your diet. The walk, not eating naked fruit, reducing snacks between meals, and also um, eating as many of your meals at home rather than takeout, because then you can at least know what's in there. Another example with eating naked carbs is like I'll pair my sweet potato, like I love sweet potato, and I'll pair it more with a salad, um, or some veggies and some protein. And it just is, first of all, it's more delicious, but secondly, it also helps blunt the blood sugar impact for me. I also enjoy Snacker Yogi from our store, which is it's like puffed. It's a low carb snack. It's not probably not like an entirely keto friendly, like super low carb snack, but it's low carb enough. And I pair it with butter. Like that's a perfect example of, if you enjoy Snacker Yogi from our store, you could bake it with some butter, and that'll help also blunt the blood sugar impact, because Snacker Yogi doesn't have a lot of fat and protein to go with it. So those are some of my like other tips of just what I learned, and I'm trying to implement. But as I said, the biggest one is stress and sleep. So please DM me all your tips on managing stress and managing sleep and what you do, because it is that important to me. And then I wanted to also talk about, I think the hardest part for me with stress is I do end up reading the news a lot at night. If I can put my phone away and actually go to sleep, um, I find that I even wake up just feeling a little bit more relaxed and better and in a better mindset. And my blood sugar, which is crazy, is actually lower than if I went to sleep like looking at my phone. So that's something I definitely still, just fixing the light, still need to work on, but also with a lot of grace for myself. So my focus for the next 4 months, I wanted to share that with you, is sleep. I love my journal, so I like writing right before I go to sleep. 2 workouts a week. So I work out twice a week. I work out following Mighty Mom Jess on Instagram. I had a C-section, and I find that her exercises, and they do in-person classes as well. Like they really help me get my mobility back, get some more strength in my upper body, lower body. My goal is not any weight loss. It really is just to increase strength. And then the workouts really help me manage my stress, which then reduces my blood sugar. So I have 2 workouts scheduled, and then I'll start walking my son to daycare and back. That, well, I don't, my husband does pick up or drop off, and I do the other. But basically, that alone would be, I think it's 2 kilometers. So a spring and summer, if I can just do 2 kilometers, like basically on a weekday, that's amazing for me. And it's amazing to help manage my blood sugar. I have a really strong focus on mental health. So I see someone, just for my mental health, I see a psychologist about once every 6 weeks. After, when I was postpartum, it was once a week at some points and once every 2 weeks. I'm so grateful to be able to afford that for myself. And now it is once every 6 weeks. But I'm going to continue to do that because that's really important to manage for me my stress level, and also to be I find it kind of lonely sometimes to be, um, I do find it lonely running Switch at times. And so it's nice to be able to talk to someone about those types of stresses. And I also have joined a CEO group with other people who I can talk to about what are you doing for business? What am I doing for business? All of these things, and just have some accountability and have some not feeling so alone. So that's my kind of focus for mental health. I also making plans for the summer again, you guys. Encourage all of you to make plans, whatever your comfort level. Get outside, whether it's camping, cottaging, seeing friends outside. Like, that's really my goal, that we can go out. I have a 2.5 year old and a dog, and I would love to be able to take them to a cottage just to spend time outside, maybe just spend time on a beach. And even in Ontario, I live in Ontario. So those are sort of my health plans and my focus for the summer. I really wanted to share that because I think we focus so much on the day to day of what's going on that I think everyone has had a really hard 2 years, and especially on International Women's Day, I just want to encourage you to find anything that makes you happy, find things that bring you joy. And if you haven't put yourself first, hey, you can tell yourself that it is going to help manage your blood sugar. And that's what you learned on Alive. So hopefully that would be a little bit more motivation for you to prioritize yourself. So yeah, those are some of my tips. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always open to talking about diabetes with anybody. So you can always DM me on Instagram, send me a message on Facebook, comment on this live with a question. Um, Message us at contact@switchgrocery.com if you have a specific question for me. And Karina on our team, she just marks it for Neha to answer. By the way, I still have not answered my birthday emails, but I've kind of saved them for a day. I really wanted to. If you send me an email on my birthday, I will respond. It's been a month, which is okay, right? Like, a month is still like reasonable time frame for birthday emails. Other things I obviously urgent I respond to. And then I had one question from Sue, which I love. One of our customer friends, Sue, asked how you pick products to carry. So today we have a surprise announcement. So first let me tell you how we pick products to carry on Switch. Everything we carry has to be low carb or grain free. And like I said, if you pick something that's grain free from us, you can definitely like add some fat or protein to go with some of our grain free things like Snacker Yogi. And so we have 2 comments on Facebook, and I love this. You shared some good tips. I will try walking after meals. Yes, Joanne, me too. I'm taking a mindfulness stress reduction course for my stress, mental health. It's been so helpful for me. That sounds so amazing. I'm really just proud of you for doing that. I did that about 4 years ago. It was an MBSR, mindfulness based stress reduction. 5 years ago. At the time, I had a job, so some benefits actually covered that, I think. And it was MBSR Toronto, which is in Toronto, and I found it so helpful. So helpful. Like, there is no priority. Like, you're actually inspiring me that I can look more into things like that to de-stress. I think that would really help. Um, so, and then, okay, so sorry, coming back to the products that we carry, low carb, grain free, or sugar free. And then we get a lot of recommendations. So suppliers actually reach out to us, our customers reach out to us. That's how we found Mr. Tortilla, which is a low carb wrap that we carry. Like, a customer messaged us. It's not as well known in Canada, but really well known in the US, and one of the top sellers in the US. But it wasn't as available here, and one customer found it, and we were looking for wraps, and it was a match. But I would say that we also look for like staples. We try really hard to find some staples. We still don't have a pasta and a pasta sauce. That kind of weighs heavy on me, especially we don't carry a pasta. So if you have any suggestions, let us know. I think we tend not to carry something that's available in grocery stores. So if there's a pasta that's like the what's konjac noodle pasta, like, that's available everywhere. So that's not something that we would carry because we there's no sort of like benefit to you in terms of getting it from us. And we try to have a more curated selection in our shop, which you can't find in regular grocery stores. So that's sort of how we choose our products. Like, and then we also really look at values. So like if a supplier, okay, I'll just share with you. So one of the companies that we've been talking to is actually Keto Brick. Um, if you're watching this, I would love your opinion. Google Keto Brick, have a look at their FAQs and get back to me. I won't tell you what how far the conversations have gone so far, but they're going far. We're talking, but I would love your opinion, your honest opinion on Keto Brick. Send me a DM, let me know. But that's an example of a company that reached out to us that was recommended by a supplier. So oftentimes, and this is amazing, our suppliers love working with us, which is so sweet. And then they recommend us as a shop to other suppliers. And it's just been all of word of mouth. So all of our store has really just grown by word of mouth. Okay, can I just say, like, Boost Dad Canada joined, and I just want to know what Boost Dad Canada is, because on Instagram, that's just a really interesting name, Boost Dad Canada. I like it. But yes, so that's how we choose. And then when we actually talk to our the brands suppliers we carry, we usually talk to the owners. We see if there's a fit. We kind of talk about our philosophy, which is a real true partnership. We only sell products that we eat. Like, somebody on our team has to eat those products. And I know you see me and Brie a lot, but we actually have people on our team, like contractors who we've worked with for 2 to 3 years, who write for our shop. We have a vegan team member, a diabetic team member, and then we have obviously a gluten-free, which is me. We have low carb, we have keto. We kind of try to have a diverse team, especially in terms of diet, so we can just serve everybody, that like we can actually like show up and serve our customers and know. So one of the articles we're writing right now actually is about a vegan lifestyle, why you would choose it, and what are the challenges on a vegan lifestyle, um, which are actually very similar to a keto lifestyle. Like, one of them is flavor, um, and making your food more delicious. And it's really like spices and condiments that add that flavor. So anyway, so that's sort of something that we're actually working on and writing, but we always make sure that um, somebody on our team will eat the product. Maybe multiple people on our team will actually will eat it, and it has to be in somebody's fridge. Greg just said Robert was one of the first people in the keto space. I followed yours back. Totally want to try them. I'm so happy to hear that, Greg. Yeah, Keto Brick had an ingredient that we could not import easily. And they now have a brick that is actually made of whey. So not a vegetable-based protein, but whey protein. And then the other thing that they have done is also like sweeten that with stevia. I've tried the brick. I really, really like it. I'm excited for you to try it. But I won't tell you if we're coming on it yet. So just DM me and tell me, Google Keto Brick. Tell me if you'd like to see them in Canada, and give me your honest feedback. I would love to hear you, or you can comment below on and let me know. The other things, yeah, we're really looking right now. So we are really looking for pasta sauce. We're looking for what that's like unique and not as easily available. We're looking for a pasta that's not as easily available as well. We've been searching for pasta for a very, very long time. We have tried all the ones that are out there. And I'm trying to think of, there's salad dressings that I know we don't have. We carry an olive oil. But again, like, a lot of salad dressings are available in stores. So it really just depends. We look at like various categories too and what we need to fill. And it depends on some of the requests we get as well. But ultimately, it always comes down to fit. Would I eat it? Because if I can't eat it, then I can't sell it to you. I can't be like, hey guys, buy this thing and pay this money for this thing that I don't even eat. So that would be impossible for me to do. But anyway, so I hope you found this live helpful. Definitely I'm always available for your questions. Whether you have diabetes or not, getting out for a walk, not looking at your phone before sleep, reminder for me, managing your stress. These are all just things that are going to give us a longer life. And after the last 2 years we've had, we just need all the like self love and support and hugs that we can get. So, oh, on this live saying thank you so much. Thank you on international. Wow, man, I have a toddler and I woke up last night when I can't pronounce International Women's Day. But thank you. Thank you for watching, for supporting me. Thank you for watching this back. If you're watching this back, um, always here for you. If you have any questions, always here. And I just appreciate you so much. It's probably one of the best parts of running this company. And these weekly lives have given me a lot of motivation and just joy. So next week we'll be actually go back to cooking, but they've given me a lot of joy, and I hope it brings that for you. Some of them are not going to be as funny as it was 3 episodes ago when I like almost turned on my fire alarm. But the most important thing, like in life, is just showing up as you are, as you feel in the moment, and giving everything your best shot. And that is what I do every week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Pacific. I hope to see you next Tuesday. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next Tuesday, same time. Bye. Bye.